Welcome. Hi. Happy Sunday. So, what I would like to talk about or explore is how I'm finding it fascinating to take on certain challenges, such as, and maybe you wouldn't call it a challenge. It maybe maybe that's overreaching, to call it a challenge. But for instance, I might see someone's point of view online and think, based on the headline of what they're talking about, in the past, full disclosure, I would debunk it because surely we're not on the same page, or this person just is not my cup of tea judgment, right? Because it would be something blatantly that I'm against or blatantly that I am not leaning toward is what it would be. But lately, I don't know. It's just something about me. I'm like, let me see what they're saying. Let me give it a chance. And lo and behold, I have been learning a lot by doing that about someone else's point of view, why they feel that way. Now, not every time am I won over as far as, okay, well, I completely think this is the way we should think or the kind of theories that I should believe in now. Or not like that, but I have a respect, like much more after hearing them out. I respect them much more and understand them much more. So there's no need to debunk, so that doesn't come from me. Unless it's something like really outrageous that's really against your core. Like when I say core, there are core things that we know innately that's just not cool. And you're never going to support those things. So I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about more just like, I don't want to give any specific examples, but okay, I will. There was like, for instance, one lady, and she was talking about being feminine. And initially, the way the headline went, I thought, well, no, she's being very anti-feminist, Not that I've ever been all the way feminist. So I was like, that kind of checked me. Like, how are you judging someone when you never have been all the way in that court? I think a lot of the feminists would say, are you from the 1800s? You're getting kicked out of our camp. But then on the other hand, there's a lot of things about me that's like a warrior woman. So I'm a mixed bag. So when I listened to her, I found she made a lot of sense. And not only that, I already embrace and live that way. It's just that the way her title was and some of the things she did say, I thought, well, I don't agree with that. Or if you do that, masculine might take it too far, that kind of thing. But for the most part, I found her to be very pleasant to listen to as well. So that's what I mean. Giving somebody a chance and not debunking them at face value. Like, that's basically saying don't judge a book by its cover. But giving you more of a relatable view of how you can dismiss something, and that person is really more like you than you thought, or that person is saying something that you may at the end of the day walk away and still say, I don't agree with those views, but at least I think you would not have disdain for the person as you did before. That's what I'm hoping. So let's see. I didn't know I would speak about this, so I don't know. I'm going to go with some cards I have here. All right, Tarot. We'll start with you. I don't drink. and I was trying not to say what I'm hearing, but something about, I do know this is a drinking phrase, something, because I said I'm going to do tarot, just go straight to it. And immediately I thought, straight up no chaser or something like that. I think that alludes to like a drink that is not diluted, or maybe there's some drinks you usually drink water right after. I don't know. I may have seen it in a movie and it stuck with me, but not the full. I don't remember the details, but that's what I just so maybe somebody enjoys a drink or two in the collective. Let's see. Why divine? Is this something that we are exploring? And what can we add to it? What? Oh, okay. The devil. Thank you for showing up. Oh, a beautiful butterfly. Oh, my word is outside the window. Thank you. No, thank you for showing up, butterfly. What a contrast. It's beautiful. A beautiful sign for you, collective. Oh, it is so, I think it's a black butterfly. I've never seen a black butterfly. It could just be a dark color. But anyway, oh my, what a surprise. Okay, so devil showing up. I think this is saying demonizing someone or categorizing them as bad, or separating yourself and not wanting to be associated with something that you think is really evil. That's what I'm getting. Okay. I'm going to pull a card on each tarot card. Let's just do about 2 or 3. See what we get. What else, divine? Ace of Wands. A new interest. I'm thinking like something that sparks you, can fuel you. And I have to say, some of these videos or books that I pick up, I remember being in the bookstore and in a category just for no reason. This is a while ago though, so maybe I've always been this way and I'm just now crediting myself for this. But I remember thinking like, I'm not into economics, for instance. I'm just not. It's a cold, I mean, in school, of course, you have to get by and take the courses, but as far as interest, no, not then at that time. Because philosophically, me and economics just don't gel. Not the way the world works economically. But anyway, I just thought to pick up some books in a bookstore, and I thought, wow, they're speaking about some things that I can wrap my head around, and I thought this would just be a bunch of stocks, numbers, or whatever. But it was something that, you know, they were also talking about people and how it related to economics and, you know, studies and people and how they think, or, you know, what are their patterns, that kind of thing. So that was what made me say, okay, you can go into any part of a bookstore and pick up a book and just find it interesting. You could have not had any interest in birds all your life, and all of a sudden you pick up a book about birds and you're fascinated with blue jays suddenly. So that's what I get from this. You never know what's going to spark you. One more. Okay, wow, and then the Ace of Swords. The truth is what I'm feeling from this. Like, you believing one way, and then you stumbling across something, giving it a chance, and it clarifying things for you, or giving you an aha moment. You never expected that you would find your clarification or your breakthrough, or you're opening up your world and your mind to something through that source. You debunked that source. You thought that you're walking along the street There's a crowd of people hearing a speaker, an activist, and you think, oh, I am not into that noise. And you just keep walking with your briefcase, for instance, but then you can't help but hear a few lines of what they're saying, and suddenly you can't get enough. And you walk over there, and then next thing you know, you look forward to after work, is the activist still, let me get their card. Maybe they're going to show up somewhere else. So that's what I'm getting from this. Yes. Okay. Let's get a card on each one and see what, I am winging it, going with the flow here. So for the devil, what am I going to clarify that with? Okay, the devil, let's use this deck. Remember, we were saying with the devil, it was pretty much like demonizing someone, or putting them in a camp that you separate yourself from because you think that they're evil or they're involved in something evil. Okay. Thank you. Wow, mice. I'm going to go to the book. I know that's like thieves or something like that, but let's just see what jumps out. First word, theft, cheating, deceit, the destruction of plans, clash with greedy and cunning individuals, experiences, stress, resentment, a sense of devastation and hopelessness, disappointments in relationships, a partner due to deceit or in betrayal, deceit, theft. Okay, what I'm getting is this look like, what's coming to mind to me is like judging people based on what does that have to do with judging a book? Yeah, you're judging people. You're assuming that people are, so it's pretty much the same. It's not really giving me more on the devil, but it's confirming or emphasizing that aspect, I guess, that you see them as this, judging them to be this, the worst case scenario. Somebody that's going to cheat you, steal from you, lie to you, a scammer. You just seeing them as this and not really knowing who they are. But there's just something about what they're involved in, something unfamiliar to you, something you heard about maybe, that makes you just say, I don't want any part of it, and I'm not giving it a chance. That's what I'm getting from that. Okay, and Ace of Wands, that spark. I'll stick with the same deck. Oh, we get heart, love, wow, passion. Yeah, giving somebody a chance can make you fall in love with somebody that you definitely never thought you'd be attracted to or give time of day. That happens, but this person is not your type. You thought you never, ever. And sometimes that becomes a very fascinating dynamic in a relationship, the fact that they are so different from you. It's like, yeah, I can see what this message is about. And then Ace of Wands, Ace of Swords. Let's see. Oh, birds. Now, I do know this is the gossip card, but let's see. That's the main message for that. Minor difficulties and troubles. Gossip, rumors, empty talk. Deprivation of peace of mind. Betrayal, unfaithfulness, intention. Workplace gossip, potential additional income sources causing tension and financial matters. I'm taking this as an Ace of Swords. The truth. Getting to the truth of the matter, and not trusting the gossip around someone. Case in point, the activist. Suppose this businesswoman or businessman is walking by, and at work, everyone's known to talk about this activist. Oh, Charlie, that guy, he's out there making noise, or he's causing, trouble, or he's a nuisance, or that's all Katie or Sam heard in the office. But as they walk by, they can't help but notice what they're saying is, really spot on. In fact, why isn't anyone else saying that? This person's brave and courageous. I see why they're drawing a crowd. You know what I mean? So not just going by what other people are saying is what I'm getting from that. Pretty cool. Okay, so let's get a final message on this divide. Okay. I don't have the deck that I like for it. I'll use the Enchanted map. Let's see what we get from that. No more lies. Why is that in my head? Michelle A. Old song from back in the day. No more lies. Guess because 2 cards came out talking about deceit and theft. So, and that song she's saying, you don't appreciate me, and I gave you many opportunities. So that's it. It's over. No more lies. Oh, details comes out. Divine said. Number 43. I'm not reading the whole thing, but I'll see what grabs me. The most powerful patterns are created within the tiniest details. Pay attention. Clarity and transparency are key. You can gain great understanding by observing the minute body language, offhand remarks, and fleeting facial expressions that reveal the larger picture. So that's what I'm seeing, like not just first glance, taking, with the whole book by its cover, you're judging quickly. Zoom in, really see what someone's talking about, what they're really about, before you debunk them or dismiss them, is what I'm getting. And with that, thank you for being here, and I'll see you next time.